What's up, YouTube? This is Tiny, and I know 2 videos in one day is going to be crazy, but this is a video response why I can still do one to Brett Keane's video about Mr. James Hess. And we had recently, he had come to one of Brett's hangouts recently trying to quote-unquote work things out. And the dude just doesn't get it. He jumped all over me for calling him a derogatory name. Because I did. I called him a faggot, and honestly, I shouldn't have. That was terrible. And normally I would have never said that, but he had just really aggravated me to the point where I kind of lost it. And anybody will tell you, I normally am not that way. I'm a very laid-back individual. And what Mr. Hess doesn't get and what he doesn't understand is he has no idea why I even got mad. It had nothing to do with Mr. Hess trying to talk to me about the whole situation that we had talked about a few days earlier, which I'll give you a little backstory if you don't already know. We were on a Skype call talking about, and he's like, "Oh, I like watching My Little Pony," and I had made the reference that I think that any grown adult male or that would say that they enjoy watching My Little Pony may be a closet homosexual. Just maybe. Now, this is my opinion. This is not fact. This is not anything else, but my opinion. I really, truly do not understand how an adult can say that they can sit down and enjoy watching, especially an adult male, can sit down and enjoy watching My Little Pony. It just perplexes me. I just don't understand it. And, apparently there's an entire community of quote-unquote bronies that love this thing. I don't know. I just know that me being a male, and I have no idea what the attraction to the cartoon would be. So, Mr. Hess was a little upset about this, and he had waited a little bit, and we were in a Google Hangout with Mr. Brett Keane, and he decided that he was going to jump all over me about this. And I was, admittedly, I was in a very rotten mood. And normally that doesn't happen. I'm normally very calm and, like I said, very collected. And usually things don't bother me. But I had politely asked Mr. Hess in the chat on the room, which unfortunately you cannot see. I had very politely asked Mr. Hess to please just drop it. Now, I wasn't saying that I wouldn't talk to him about it, but I was simply saying that, that wasn't the time or the place, and I just, like I said, I had a very, very, very bad day, and, so I just kind of, after 3 times of being nice and asking very politely to please just stop, and Mr. Hess just continuing his belligerence, I finally lost it, went off the deep end, and I did call him a faggot, and that's terrible. I don't think that of Mr. Hess. He's too overly sensitive. The guy just does not have any capacity for anything other than what he believes in, and if it's something that he thinks is offensive, he's almost childlike in the way that he gets upset, about things. And just recently here, he came into another Google Hangout and tried to, after this video that Brett had made about Mr. Hess being a little racist himself, about all the gay and derogatory comments towards black people, all of a sudden came into a room and was like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't, I should have never said anything to me about the whole, I'm, whatever, offensive to the gay community, when he makes more gay comments, like derogatory gay comments, than I have ever made in my entire life. So, but back to the point at hand, he honestly doesn't understand why I was upset. It had nothing to do with wanting to talk about what the Skype call that we had. It had everything to do with him just being totally disregarding what I had to say. He wanted to talk about it right then and there, and if you didn't want to talk about it right then and there, he was still going to talk about it. And that's what really upset me. Okay, that's what really pissed me off. And since then, he has continued to, make comments about me and this and that, and I have left him alone. In fact, I've been in a few other Google Hangouts where he has been in the room, and I don't say a word to him. I have nothing to say to him. Like I said, he doesn't, he just doesn't get the whole reasoning behind me blowing up. And he probably never will. I mean, admittedly, he probably never will. But I don't wish any ill will on the guy. But honestly, if you're going to be that sensitive and hypocritical, then maybe you should think about going somewhere else and maybe hang out with your My Little Pony buddies on a My Little Pony message board or something, because YouTube is not the place for somebody like you. You want to be a crybaby and you want to, scream and yell and tell people to shut the fuck up. Like I said, maybe you should just leave. I think it would be a good idea. Besides, honestly, anybody with half a brain doesn't really give a crap what Mr. Hess thinks. So, I just find it all to be extremely funny. But anyway, I just wanted to make this radio response because I think it was warranted. Like I said, Mr. Hess has no clue what he's doing. And, normally, like I said, I would never call anybody that. I don't have a problem with homosexuals. I don't have a problem with lesbians. My personal view is if that's what your sexual orientation is, then that's what it is. I mean, just because I'm straight doesn't mean I'm any more right than you are being either homosexual or gay. Or, lesbian, excuse me. So, it's really a moot point. To say that I offended the entire gay community with one comment. The countless comments that Mr. Hess has made towards his own community is a lot worse than anything I could have said one time. So, really, Mr. Hess is the one that's got the egg on his face and looks like an ass. So, that's all I have to say. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one.